afternoon, Piers. How are you?
Very good.
That's good. Welcome back for the second session today. So the session we had the other day, just wanted to recap over sort of how we went, and if you've used some of the resources or maybe strategies over the last week or so.
I actually used it.
Okay,
So this morning we had an interview with one of the trainers, and we discussed with the other trainers manager, so Angela was also involved.
Yeah.
And we decided to implement those kind of question as a guidelines for the trainers. It took a bit longer than I expected, so it was a bit more than 1 hour, but I believe it was my experience.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was really good. So
Beautiful.
we decided on the scoring, and I could see that both of us were actually in line.
Yeah.
So yeah, I used that one and it was pretty good.
Yeah, perfect. That's excellent.
So actually, thank you.
Yeah. And what questions maybe in particular did you find sort of beneficial for that candidate?
It was a second section when it was like behavior and how do they normally cope in stressful situations.
Yeah.
What kind of environment they're looking for, and what is the best environment for them to perform. Those was really good, I guess, because they open up like the conversation and it really was structured.
And would you sort of continue on using them?
We
sort of
decided to
documents?
continue to use that one.
Okay.
So it's way better because it's actually lines, and it's way easier to follow the lines of just question after question, and it's done.
Yeah.
Rather than creating question out of nowhere. Before we didn't have sort of a guideline, so
That's right.
we were asking question.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great to hear that you took on the feedback and you're using the resources. Today I'll give you these new resources for our second session. So the things we'll cover is giving constructive feedback in the workplace. So different areas will outline different things in that document. So we'll go through that eventually. And then also a trainer observation checklist. So we'll go through that as well. And that's different areas that we'll cover today. Beautiful. So we'll get started on that one here, that trainer observation checklist. So I've developed this one for you because if you sort of hire a trainer or you like a trainer in particular, you'd use this as a marking guide. So it would be sort of them working with you 3 months into the company. So they're working with you 3 months. That would ensure you give them sort of time to get familiar with their classes, with their students as well, and with their resources. So yeah, if you or maybe as a training manager, you'd get your other trainers to go out there on board and to mark them off during the class, that can sort of fit and work as well. Yeah, so on the day, if you were to go out there yourself, you just put the date you've gone out to their class, trainer's name, so whoever it is that you've employed or currently employed as well, student and client location, and observation name and role. So that would be your one there. Qualification, so what they're teaching, that's probably important as well, because every course will be based on different delivery modes, different methods, different requirements as well. Unit of competency, so at the time you might pick one unit maybe that you wanted to sort of look over, so putting that there. And purpose of observation, so if someone was maybe a trainer for say 3 months within the company, if you went out there, what would be your purpose, do you think?
Just to confirm that they're actually clear on the expectations and they're using the right materials. They do have access to all the Dropbox that we normally use, or SharePoint. So that probably will be the purpose.
Okay.
Another purpose that I'm thinking of after the 3 months, or for more experienced trainer, I can probably use it for perform on the price, or like just to inform how they're doing, or maybe if there's any concerns. Sometimes we receive concern from the students and complaints and say, look, not sure the trainer seems to be not organised, or it depends on the complaints. That maybe. Maybe I'm thinking that can be another purpose.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so just going through that as well. And then if I send it to you, if you want to add sort of your own thoughts to the observation form, you can do that as well.
Yeah.
And then resources, materials, tools. So what was used during that session? How did they use it as well? So just different things.
So these are the resources related to the class, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. We'll go on to the score guide section now, and then the things you'll sort of be looking for on each trainer. So you'd have, again, a rating from 1 to 5, so 1 being an acceptable performance, So hopefully you don't find too many of that throughout your trainers, you hope not. 2, needs improvement. 3, acceptable performance. 4, strong performance. And 5, exceeds expectations. So you've got the tabs there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the different elements you'll be looking for during these sessions would be number 1, so approach communication and relationship with student. Yeah, so looking at how they're actually engaging, how they're drawing and getting their audience in a classroom setting, and then one-on-one with students as well. Number 2, engagement with student, determination of students, unpinning knowledge. Yeah, so again, sort of about engagement, how they're going to get them tuned, and sort of their determination as well throughout the student. Number 3, student management, involvement and interaction. Yeah, so what they're doing on the management side of things, whether it's providing them with different catch-up classes if they're falling behind, or doing other things as well. Value added from own experience and knowledge. So back to our previous session, that was about industry knowledge and experience. So that will play a big factor in the classroom. So what they can bring from their work role or their job role into class as well. Yeah, so each of these you'd rate from that 1 to 5 category. So if you just flip over, then we've got a few more points to cover. So number 5, professional training, delivery, credibility and authority. Yeah, so seeing what they're doing for example, the personal development, things they want to sort of extend and learn on as well. Number 6, link to content to the job role, work situation, industry. Number 7, key messages and core content delivered. So what's really the foundations of the course that you're looking for? What sort of then prime different areas as well, them important areas. Number 8, provided opportunity for questions and discussions. So yeah, is he just, he or she just talking, or they're actually giving the students a chance to ask? If they're unsure or if the students want to build on something, they have that opportunity to ask and they don't feel scared to ask. So that's most important as well. Number 9, constructive and supportive feedback to students. Yeah, so how they do that, what's the process they're going to do that? Do they allow the students to have a chance, or are they going to sort of keep telling them feedback without giving them a chance to say anything? Yeah, so looking at how they sort of deal with that in a one-on-one setting. Link to next unit session visit. So with their classes, do they maybe bridge each class or each topic? So do they finish, maybe one topic and introduce another one smoothly and effectively? So doing that as well. And the last one on here is number 11, organisational skills and paperwork. Yeah, so what they're bringing to class, what they're prepping their classes with, even how they're marking assessments as well. So if they're signing and dating off everything, and if all elements are covered as well. Yeah, so they're just some things to sort of think about when looking at all your trainers in a classroom setting. Yeah, so if you wanted that one again, I can send that through.
Yeah, we can start to review and see, maybe I can change a few things if they're not applicable.
Yeah.
But how, this one here again, same question, how normally would it take if I got 11 areas? So let's say something is not possible to be observed. So let's say this one here, so I've got a link to the next unit or session. Yeah. So if they want to do it, because probably they're just at the start of a unit, so what would I just stick not applicable, but then in the calculation I will have less?
Yes, that's right. You'd probably do that. And if you can't sort of see them, going into a new class or something, just maybe base it on that class there. If they're introducing.
Okay, you mentioned it here.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good.
That's all good.
Yeah, so I just remove one area and then I divide it by. Okay, got it.
All right, beautiful. No worries. It's good that that's all clear. We'll move on to this second document now. So this one's about, I've created here giving constructive feedback in the workplace. So do you know much about how you sort of go by that, or how you sort of teach that to trainers or your other staff members?
So when I give feedback to them?
Yeah.
Well, as much as I love, I try to be sensitive. So
Yeah.
when you pass the feedback, you're trying to be, not saying that you sugarcoat it, but in a sensitive manner.
That's right.
Some of the trainers, not all of them, but they may be really sensitive towards receiving feedback.
Okay.
That's the only thing. Normally, what I do, I utilize the sandwich style. So,
Yeah.
a bit of bread, a bit of positive.
That's it.
Then just provide them with the actual problems or issue, and then conclude by saying that they're still here. There must be a reason. So maybe that they're still good. They're doing
That's
a
right.
good job. They're trying their best. That as far as I'm concerned, that's
Yeah.
what I normally do.
Ah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's a great answer. Yeah, so it's pretty much providing constructive feedback to employees is essential. The reason being, it gives them a chance to sort of look at where they can improve and what they're doing really well in the workplace. So it sort of works both ways as well. So what is exactly constructive feedback? So qualities of constructive feedback. So there's a few of them listed throughout the document. So one of them is provide specific information. Another one based on observation and facts. And then another one is solution focused. So that could be solution focused, gathering with your colleagues and creating maybe a bit of a plan together of how you sort of deliver and take out constructive feedback for your staff members and also for your trainers as well when going on site. So this is important as well. So the benefits of constructive feedback. So a study from 2014 from Harvard Business Review. So 57% of participants stated that they prefer constructive feedback over praise. So maybe, I initially thought it was probably the other way around, to be honest.
Same thought that I got as soon as I was okay.
Yeah,
That's
but
strange, but
different. It's sort of the other way around to what we thought. So that's an interesting sort of fact there. And then the benefits of it as well. So there's sort of a few listed points throughout the document. So enhances performance and assists with professional growth. So like we're saying, how it's going to better, your staff member or your trainer as well, what growth it's going to give, how it's going to help with their progression as well over time. So if we just flip over. Also clarifies expectations. So giving them a guidance and a sense of purpose. So we touched on that last session. So we always got to have a purpose of what we're doing behind it, not just doing it blindly, I guess. Benefits the organisation's performance. So if you are working towards the same objective and they are, it makes it easier to sort of target and hit things a lot quicker as well. And then each person has their own goals. So it's a matter of sitting down. You can sort of goal set at the start of the year or at the start of every new sort of financial year. And just putting in place, what are the goals for the next 6 months for you as a company and for them as a trainer. So just working on that as well. Common mistakes that are normally found with constructive feedback is trying not to worry what the other person is sort of doing or thinking negatively. So remember that your aim is to help the employee's performance, and you could even tell them this as well. Reflect on feedback so you can correct any misinterpretations as well. So always reflecting on that. It's always important to provide feedback to employees and not just the ones that you feel maybe need to improve on. So even the ones that are doing good, so pull them aside, whether it's every sort of few weeks, so however you want to do it. Normally with my staff, I'll sort of have a review to see where they're at every once a month, I'd say. I find that works. So, once a month, that could be 11, 12 times in the year. And then, you can set that goal for the next month coming ahead. So I like to do it as like that as well. You want to try and not avoid or bring up any sort of issues that would get them upset. So try and keep it as professional as you can about work as well, nothing to do outside of work. So just base the feedback on what they're doing here and not outside of here as well. Sometimes managers as well can forget a lot of the positive feedback. So normally they like to pinpoint or sort of pick out all the negative stuff. And that's sort of as a manager's role, I guess you're going to get frustrated at times, especially yourself managing so many staff, and you'd probably like to pick them sort of negative things, but yeah, try to pick both, and try and always touch on both as well. That's what I recommend, yeah. So the next point just under that, what is the foundation for giving constructive feedback? So creditability, candor and care. So what that means, the first one is recipients must view you as credible. The second one, be polite, respectful and thoughtful, but don't avoid the issue as that's not helpful for either you or for them. And then care, so yeah, they should always feel like you're caring, you're supportive as well, and you're telling them these things because you want to see improvements, and you not only want to help yourself and the company, but most importantly them as well. So underneath that, continue on. So how to provide constructive feedback. So again, different sort of steps. So the first one will be pre-established goals. Yeah, so you know, they might come to you and say, Piers, I've got, you know, certain goals that I want to hit, and then you try and work around them pre-established goals as well. For example, if they're a trainer, you might have established goals for them as well before they've started, or within, like we're touching on here, within that 3 months sort of phase. So yeah, even if that's inviting them over for a meeting, and establishing these goals in their meeting in an initial phase, just so everyone's clear on what to target. Yeah. Other sort of examples around that meeting, you'd want to say more like, you know, come over to my office to discuss your progression, not saying, oh, come over to my office because I want to, you know, review your whole performance. You know,
that's probably more my style.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
and they know in that sense, if you sort of deliver it like that, oh no, am I in trouble? So you don't want to come across like they're getting in trouble or they're doing something wrong. You want them to feel, you know, at ease, and for you to sort of feel approachable for them as well. Beautiful. Just flicking over for me. And then person to person, I say this because, you know, everyone takes things differently. Some people are more sensitive than others, so you don't want to sort of pinpoint someone out for doing something bad in front of a whole classroom or in front of your whole workers. Pull them aside, take them into another room, close the door, and just do it in a professional manner as well. Yeah, so, and try to do that one-on-one, obviously, so like we just said. Perfect. So below that, and then we've got the image here. So that image is like that staff member with the employer. They've got all their paperwork listed out. So pretty much what we're doing as well. You can do it that same way. Perfect. So different communication techniques. So you've got 5 here. So communication care is number 1. Number 2 is manner. Number 3, be direct. Number 4, be sincere. And number 5, encourage. Yeah, so communication care, so communicate that you care to the recipient, understands that why you're providing the feedback as well. Manner, don't sort of come across like you're angry, disappointed in them. Try and keep it as confident and as together as you can. Number 3, be direct. So just trying to be not direct in an angry and aggressive way, just trying to get to the point of, you know, why you brought them here, and try and be straightforward on what you want to get out of that meeting as well. Be sincere as well. Yeah, so for example, your communication skills are very strong, but so that suggests that the positive message was not sincere. Yeah, so you don't want to sort of do that in a way. And then encourage. So yeah, always encouraging. Yeah, for example, be appreciative when delivering positive feedback. Show that you're grateful and appreciate what they've done for you and for the company as well. Yeah, and sort of explain, you know, what they did well. Don't just say well done, because that's not very constructive. Yeah, say well done because I think you've done this, you did it in this manner. So give them something to take home and to think about as well. And probably the last sort of bit throughout this document I wanted to touch. So content of constructive feedback. So only constructive feedback is number one. Number two, you want to start positive during that meeting. Number three, you want to provide a balance. So providing a balance of positive and negative feedback, not just one or the other. And always encourage them throughout that meeting. Number four, so pick a few areas for improvement. So you might want them to focus on 3 or 4 things. You don't want to overload them with that information. So it could be 3 or 4 things that you think that they might need to improve on, and try and sort of brainstorm of how you improve around them things as well. Number 5, ask for permission. So a technique for introducing specific examples is to ask the recipient for permission. So for example, you could say, can I share an observation with you? So always getting that consent. The recipient may be more inclined to take the feedback on board if you sort of go about it like that as well. And then stick to the observations. So state observations and facts rather than interpretations or opinions as well. Yeah. So looking at them. Number 4, we've got another picture there. So 2 ladies here trying to sort of brainstorm ideas of how to sort of improve things for trainers and other staff members as well. Perfect. And on the last page, if you just flip over again, creating solutions together. So this is probably the vital part of it all. So how to improve that constructive feedback within your company. So even you as a training manager, being in line with your line managers as well. So you going to your boss and sort of brainstorming ideas, how we can improve constructive feedback. Also as well, it could be with your students, so maybe designing a certain survey to go out on classes, and that survey can be based on the trainer as well, for example. So, boxes to tick, for example, like do you feel engaged during all of the trainer sessions? Do you feel he prepares you for assessments? Do you feel like he covers all different content? So just things like that. It's good to brainstorm with your team as well. Beautiful. Any other sort of questions you wanted to touch on this work that we've gone through today?
No, all good.
No, that's all good.
This one, yeah.
Perfect, yeah. No worries. Yeah, I can send you through this one and this one here as well, so you have that on file. Yeah, so that's good. Lastly, I'll probably get you to give me some feedback throughout sessions 1 and 2. So the first question will be, how do you think I sort of went throughout both of the sessions? Did you find them informative for your work-based sort of environment?
It was actually, the initial thought I got, it was like, I will not learn that much because, I'm here to support you, and it's actually a pleasure doing it. Yeah. However, I actually learned a few things. The first one, it was really, really good to have that template. So today I actually hands-on, I experienced that template, and it was really good. So I'm pretty sure we'll actually keep it and take that on board if you're happy with that.
Yeah, definitely.
And even today I actually learned more about consent. So when you present the evidence, I'm more evidence-based when I'm providing feedback to my trainers. However, sometimes I fail, and that's what I recognise straight away to just ask them. And I said, well, we're here for that reason. I will assume that that's the reason why, and then boom, straight away I just applied it with form. So that's another positive thing that I learned. So thank you for that. In terms of constructive feedback for you, and here I was just trying to implement what I've just learned. That's it's good. So when I struggle, what's yesterday be? It was pretty much for the resources. So, and I can see that you overcome that problem today. Probably you realise it yourself. I don't know. But it was hard because yesterday we only had that form. And initially I was struggling to read, so because the writing was a bit small, it's a normal font.
That's right.
It was on your tablet, so I was stretching there to recognise and trying to read. And maybe, again in future, for maybe your training or delivery, it's always good to probably practice together. So maybe just do 1 or 2, not the entire form, of course. If you're talking about observation, or yesterday, for instance, the interview question, maybe just pick 2 easy one that you can do with your learners, so that together we can do it. To confirm that yes, your understanding is there.
That's right.
And to reassure the learner. But other than that, absolutely velocity. So
so really just good. More with that one, practicing together, maybe going through role plays. You
can do role plays, or you can actually, if you you present forms, you can do through the forms or role plays, or you can present a simulation, like, I don't know, something more practical.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, other than that, pretty well done,
All right,
actually.
beautiful.
You know.
Thank you very much for
No
that.
worries.
I'll just get you to initial that feedback there, just so I can
Yep.
show that evidence to my course. Beautiful.
Yep.
Thank you.
No worries.
All right, Piers, thank you very much
Thank
for
you
your
so
time
much.
today.
Thank
All
you.
the best. Thank you.